tell you what, this game can change very, very quickly. We were on Cricbuzz Combox earlier, really not sure about what kind of total we'd have. They just about got into the 70s. Straight after that, we felt it was Nicholas Puran, Aiden Markram who'd be the key to getting them to a big total. Straight after Cricbuzz Combox, not only did a wicket fall during it, after it, it was Markram gone, Puran gone, and of course Abhishek Sharma fell during Cricbuzz Combox, and suddenly everything changed, and we were thinking that Simon Doull's prediction of 139 was going to be spot on. No, that wasn't to happen, because then Romario Shepherd and Washington Sundar started to hit it to all parts of the Wankhede Stadium, and then it looked as if my ambitious prediction of 166 might come true. In the end, it was the man in between, Harsha Bhogle, with 151 that got there in the end. We've got a margin of a few runs. So 157 for 8 and 20. Nathan Ellis, the death bowler, who they were looking for, 3 for 40 in his 4 overs. Harpreet Brar picking up 3 for 26. A top score, still a top score of 43 of 32. But the real kick came from those two men just under Abhishek Sharma. Romario Shepherd, he's done that so often in the Caribbean Premier League, 26 of 15. And Washington Sundar also finishing up with a good cameo towards the end. We'll find out very shortly what the panel thinks of this particular score. But let's just look down the order and see who contributed what. Remember, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, captain of this side, won the toss, decided to bat first. Priyam Garg, who's been their surprise package, and he fell early. And then it was Abhishek Sharma with 43 of 32. Rahul Tripathi was busy as always, 20 of 18. Markram, 21 of 17. All sort of flattering, but slightly flattering to deceive. Puran failed. And then his Caribbean colleague, Romario Shepherd, 26 not out of 15 balls. And that took them to a fairly respectable total. I'm not sure it looks like a winning total. Now, let's try and put things in perspective with looking at how this innings progressed, because there's a story to be told here. Right towards the end of the show, towards the end of the innings, I'm on the show. They're on the innings. Get it right. 12.2. Look at that. 61 in the last 5, of which over 50 came in the last 4. And that was the real kick that the innings got towards the end of the innings. That was Hyderabad's innings progression. Punjab will feel it was their innings for much of it, but it was actually Hyderabad who were batting after having won the toss. 7, 7, then 5, and towards the end, 12.2. But yeah, I mean, it's a Freudian slip. Don't worry, folks, because for much of it, you could see Preeti Zintab jumping up and down, and you wouldn't forgive anyone for saying it was Punjab's innings. It was very much Hyderabad's innings. Now, I'm not alone on the show because we have our Jugal Bandi with us. Now, the first thing I'm going to ask Simon, do you know what the word Jugal Bandi means, Simon Doull?
Is it something like a combination or a duo?
There you go.
Well done.
I'm telling you, Dooley's been to India so many times. I think after a while, he's going to already he shows me restaurants and whatever. He's now going to start teaching these Indian customs maybe soon.
Is that exactly what it means? Or
strictly speaking, it means two people playing a musical instrument, and then each picks up the other person's beat and they perform together.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a combination. It's a duo. It's a duet.
Yeah,
We are a duet.
It's perfect because the fact that you guys are sitting together, Dooley, means you need to be twinning. The literal translation has something to do with twinning because you pick up of each other, and that's what you guys are doing brilliantly.
So we have a lovely can of fizzy drink down under in New Zealand called Sparkling Duet.
They do a few things right. They do dark chocolate very well.
Correct.
They do cricket very well. They occasionally do rugby well.
Occasionally do rugby. There you go. We had a sledge in the pre-show. Harsha's got one back. So in the sledge department, it's 1-1. But in terms of prediction department, Harsha, Nathan Ellis tried really hard to get it to me with that no ball. But at the end, your prediction comes true. The question is, you got it right, but have Hyderabad got it right?
I think they have actually, because I'm looking down the bowling figures and I'm looking at Liam Livingston, and I'm looking at at Harpreet Brar, and then I'm looking at what happened in the last 4 overs. So look at Liam Livingston, 4 overs 25. Harpreet Brar, 3 for 26. He was turning the ball. The ball was gripping and turning. Last 4 overs, 58 runs. And last 4 overs, 58 runs. Now look at who's available to Sunrisers. They have a Harpreet Brar equivalent in Suchit. They have Washington Sundar, but also they have Markram and Abhishek Sharma. So if it required, they can bowl 10, 12 overs of spin. So that is why I think on this track, I think they might have got enough.
Yeah, I like the way Harsha has been describing it with the left hand and the right hand, because not everybody, Dooley, is as unique as Liam Livingston.
Dooley won't know that, but I know what you're saying. I used to be an off-break bowler and I used to be a leg break bowler. We all know that.
Harsha, I thought you were only leg break. The last cricket match you and I played together, you showed off your leg breaks. Are you like Liam Livingston?
I think we're referring to the same video of somebody who pretended to be a cricketer and who said, I used to be an off-break bowler and a leg break bowler. Anyway.
Yeah. One of the for me, I mean, that Harpreet Brar one, the stumping of Markram, and brilliant work behind the stumps as well. But one of the balls of the tournament. Wow. Unbelievable.
Did you see Markram's reaction to that? Because he overbalanced because of how good the delivery was.
Absolutely. And it's just starting to show. I mean, and look, I mean, I know we've talked about it in commentary a lot. Good the ground staff have been throughout the venues, but they're just starting to show a little bit of wear at the back end. But let's be fair, they've done an amazing job for 6.5, 7 weeks. And if right at the back end they're starting to show a little bit of wear, so be it. I think across the board, the fans, the ground staff, and everyone that's sort of made Maharashtra and the whole state sort of, it's just been phenomenal. It really, really has.
I just think that if we had to have the playoffs here now, they would have had to keep a wicket separately only for the playoffs because these are now a little tired. So I'm hoping Kolkata and Ahmedabad provide really good pitches.
Can't be dry now. The rain we've had here. I mean, GB, it messed your hair up yesterday. I mean, honest, I don't know what that was looking shabby as anything yesterday, mate. It was all over the place. It was all down here.
And you know why he's saying that? He never has to worry about it. He never has to worry about it.
But I mean, the rain we've had here, if it's not got a good grass covering and it has to have been under covers, it's going to be a cracking surface, I think. Yeah.
And Dooley, I can tell you, gentlemen, there is a possibility of some more rain coming because when you get to nor'wester season in Kolkata, it's almost a daily occurrence. So you have to smell the air at about 3 in the afternoon. Okay, I won't.
Don't, because I don't think RCB fans will be able to take it if something happens to their game. Because I think if the game gets washed out, you go through on. Is it head to head?
It's the points. It's a point
Your
wherever
team
you
will
are.
finish
So if it's washed out tomorrow, GT go through as number one qualifier. Or sorry, day after GT go through as number one qualifier, and RR go straight to that next one. And if it's washed out day after, number 3 position goes through. Number 4
goes through.
Cello.
You just lost all our viewership in Bangalore.
No. Trust me, Harsha. I have a comeback. I have a comeback line, and we'll come back to the game after that. These nor'westers don't last the entire night. They just cool the evening down, make it lovely viewing atmosphere. Yesterday was an anomaly because it was a storm that didn't make flying into Kolkata good at that particular time. Let's come back to the storm from Romario Shepherd at the end, because that was the kind of batting that was a little like your charter flight into Kolkata, Harsha.
That was something else. The turbulence on that flight was something else. But I think those 26 of 15 and Washington Sundar's 25 of 19 might have allowed Sunrisers to breathe a little bit. It's allowed Romario Shepherd to play in the position that he is best at, which is coming in at the end and just playing the big shots. He can bowl a little bit too. I don't know if they'll need him to bowl because they have so many bowling options. But I think this is where he's best. And this is a role that a lot of people in the West Indies seem to be playing from the Caribbean, playing well. Bowl a little bit of seam up, but go and hit the ball miles.
But we've seen a lot of him, Dooley, in the CPL. He very much is a bowling all-rounder who just enjoys his batting towards the end. That's very much Odin Smith-like.
And vastly experienced as well, GB, as you know. Like, he's been around for a long time and he's had a couple of opportunities at the international level now. As not quite, I think if you talk to all the people in the Caribbean, or the Caribbean, however you want to say it, he hasn't quite fulfilled that potential that they saw in him and they thought he would have been more of a white ball all-rounder, more in the Pollard type role, but maybe with the bat rather than, more with the ball than with the bat, but with the ability to finish a game off with the bat. Just haven't quite seen that at that next level from him at the moment. So, I think he's a good performer, and I think this is the sort of tournament he could play in the next 3 or 4 years and do well. But he just given an opportunity tonight, I think he was very, very good at the back end, and it just shows you how tough it is to bowl seam up at the back end, I think. So that's where Harsha's point from earlier has a lot of weight behind it.
So Dooley does a CPL as well, right? Do you do the Vanuatu Premier League as well?
The Fijian one.
And Port Moresby Premier League?
No, Port Moresby haven't had theirs. They're starting next year. Vanuatu is starting in 2024. The Fijian one is at the end of this year.
And Hamburg?
I do like a hamburger.
The reason, guys, we're talking about all this is all these leagues around the world, there's only one person who's always at those leagues, and that's him.
Yeah, I'm trying to follow him around to as many as possible. I've only got to the Caribbean, but do you have a list of bio bubbles you've entered, Dooley?
I do have a list from last year. I had 46 days last year in total, 46 days when I wasn't in quarantine, hotel restrictions, or a bio bubble. 46 days in the whole of last year.
The things people
Let's hope these bubbles are gone.
People have to do to become millionaires like the IPL players.
I can tell you one thing: a few bio bubbles do include golf courses, which is why Dooley survives.
That's it.
Yes.
But let's come back to the game. Talk about Mayank Agarwal's captaincy. We were a little surprised, perhaps, that Prerak Mankad didn't get a shoe-in. But was that really about the conditions? And he saw that maybe Liam's doing the job for him, so he doesn't need to use it?
Yeah. I think the moment Livingston bowled 4 overs, he didn't feel the need to go there, because at any given time, it's incremental analysis. Who's more likely to bowl the next over? Better. Is Rabada likely or Mankad? Is Nathan Ellis likely or him? So I think they would have gone that way. The moment Livingston bowled 4 overs, they don't. But I've been looking at Prerak Mankad's numbers. Even in List A, his strike rate is 104. In T20, it's 140. So he might still come in handy if required, because today they're batting very well. Today they're batting a lot deeper.
Yeah, batting a little deeper, but they're also without Bhanuka Rajapaksa, who has really been giving them a lot of impetus up there. Yes, we had Bairstow restored to where he should be batting. Mayank Agarwal coming down the order. But without Bhanuka Rajapaksa, maybe it'll give Livingston more time to bat.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, it allows Mayank. I like the option from Mayank to go down the order when they wanted Johnny Bairstow at the top, because I think that was the best option. It was a captaincy decision and obviously a management one, so that's good. I think if Shikhar Dhawan and Johnny Bairstow get away to a good start, even expect Mayank to drop down the order. If he's, if they don't lose a wicket for 6-7 overs, I would expect Livingston to maybe even come in at 3, and then Shahrukh, and try and win this game with some authority for their last game of the season, maybe, and you might see an early wicket inside the first 3 or 4 overs. Mayank comes in outside of 6 overs, maybe he doesn't even come in. So it'll be a call they'll take along the way, I think.
What this does do, though, is it takes away a left-hander from the top order. And if Suchit is going to bowl 4 overs, Rajapaksa could have attacked him, and that's why Shikhar needs to play in that left hand, right hand to counter the off spin and leg spin, whatever. So I think that's the only thing. But I mean, at this level, you've got to back a Livingston and Mayank and the others to score runs.
So what I'm hearing from both of you is you're leaning towards this total being chased down.
I am leaning away from Dooley.
I'm saying, I'm saying chased down. I think Harsh is saying defended.
I'm saying defended. Yeah, I'm saying defended.
Fair point. Is it just about Hyderabadi loyalty, Harsha?
Yo, no. Every day I get told that I'm biased in favor of one side or the other. But they've started with the boundary. So what I think is they will attack pace as much as they can and attack the power play before the spinners come on. Won't be surprised if Washington comes soon.
Yeah, fair point. We'll see what happens when we come back in the 10th over. Just by the way, for a literal translation, I decided to look it up while we were chatting. Entwined twins is a literal translation of Jugal Bandi.
Okay, that's that one. That's that one. Walking away. He's walking away. He's avoiding me.
Hang in there. We've got more shows coming up, of course. I know Harsha mentioned day after tomorrow when we were looking at Gujarat versus Rajasthan playing in Kolkata. But before that, we're going to be around. We're going to be looking back, looking ahead. This is what's coming up on Cricbuzz Live. This is a league stage review. Joy's in there. Harsha's in there. Oh, look at that handsome man in the blue jacket. GK, he's going to be leading the way. 23rd of May, 5
Where is he?
p.m.
Where is he?
And Virender Sehwag in the Hindi show. We are looking back at. In fact, this one's a look ahead. This is Playoff Par Nazar, looking ahead to the playoffs with Tanay, with Parthiv, and with Virender Sehwag. For now, from the Jugalbandi and the solo in another part of Kolkata, where it's not raining anymore, don't worry, folks. We're going to be talking about a match in Mumbai being played between Punjab and Hyderabad. National integration at its best. That's all we have from Cricbuzz Live. We'll see you in the 10th over on Cricbuzz Combox.